Have you ever noticed that the harder you chase something, the further it seems to slip from your grasp? Success, happiness, love, they're right in front of us, so close we can almost touch them. Yet, the more we obsess over achieving them, the more they seem to drift away. Why is it that the things we want most often feel just out of reach? As a Zen teaching goes, when you stop caring, results come. It's a paradox, isn't it? We're taught to hustle harder, to push endlessly, to never give up. But what if the real path to fulfillment isn't about gripping tighter, but about letting go? Think about it. Have you ever been so focused on controlling everything that it left you stressed, frustrated, or worse, completely burnt out? What if all this clinging is exactly what's keeping you stuck? Here's the truth most people miss. Attachment doesn't lead to freedom. It leads to suffering. But when you embrace non-attachment, something powerful happens. You discover inner peace, clarity, and, ironically, the very things you were chasing begin to flow into your life effortlessly. In this video, we're exploring the transformative wisdom of Zen and Buddhism. You'll learn how releasing control can open the door to profound freedom and joy. By the end, you'll understand. Surrender isn't giving up, it's reclaiming your life. If you've ever felt trapped by your own expectations, stay with me. This might be the one insight that changes everything. Principle 1. Focus on what you can control. There's a story of a monk who spent years meditating beside a serene river. One day, a traveler came to him overwhelmed with frustration, relationships, work stress, the pressure to control everything. The monk listened quietly, then said, "Do you see how the river flows? It doesn't fight the rocks in its path. It simply flows around them. You must be like the river. Focus on what you can control and release the rest." This simple teaching echoes one of life's greatest truths. Freedom begins when we stop clinging to what's outside our control. In Buddhist philosophy, this idea is central. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from attachment to outcomes, people, situations we cannot change. Instead, he urged us to focus inward on our actions, our attitudes, our peace of mind. A philosopher once said it best, "The chief task in life is to distinguish between what is up to us and what is not." Imagine how much lighter your life would feel if you fully lived this truth. Think back to the last time you were stressed, maybe a conflict at work where you felt unseen or unappreciated. How much energy did you waste trying to change someone else's behavior or force an outcome? Now ask yourself this: what if, instead, you had focused on your professionalism, your calm, your ability to respond with grace? Because here's the truth. When you let go of what isn't yours to control, you reclaim the power to shape your own path. This practice isn't about indifference, it's about clarity. You don't stop caring, you simply stop caring about the things that drain you. Focus on what you can influence, your mindset, your habits, your response. Like the river that flows effortlessly around obstacles, your energy becomes unstoppable when it's not wasted on resistance. How to begin? Identify your sphere of control, what's truly yours to manage, your effort, your attitude. Start there. Release the rest. Others' opinions, the past, unpredictable events, acknowledge them and let them go. Redirect your energy. Pour it into what aligns with your values and goals. Ask yourself, what weight am I carrying that doesn't belong to me? When you release it, you create space. And in that space, results begin to flow, just like the river flowing to the ocean. Today, take just one step toward letting go of something that's been holding you back. Principle 2. Accept life's imperfection. A man once visited a Zen master, burdened by his failures. "I try so hard to make everything perfect," he said, "but nothing ever goes as planned." The master smiled and handed him a cracked teacup. "Drink," he said. The man hesitated. "It's imperfect." The master nodded. "And yet, it still holds the tea." This story reveals a quiet, profound truth. Perfection is not the goal. Acceptance is. In Buddhist philosophy, suffering often comes from resisting what is, from demanding that life meet impossible standards. We say, I'll be happy when everything's perfect. But perfection? It's an illusion, a mirage. Life is messy, unpredictable, flawed. And that's what makes it beautiful. The Buddha taught, when you demand perfection, you invite suffering. Life is ever-changing, seasons shift, flowers bloom and fade, even the moon has craters, and yet, within every imperfection, there's hidden wisdom, if we're willing to embrace it. Think of the last time things didn't go as planned, a project that failed, a relationship that didn't align. How much time did you spend dwelling on what should have been instead? This story reveals a quiet, profound truth. Perfection is not the goal. Acceptance is. In Buddhist philosophy, suffering often comes from resisting what is, from demanding that life meet impossible standards. We say, I'll be happy when everything's perfect. But perfection? It's an illusion, a mirage. Life is messy, unpredictable, flawed, and that's what makes it beautiful. The Buddha taught, when you demand perfection, you invite suffering. Life is ever-changing. Seasons shift. Flowers bloom and fade. Even the moon has craters. And yet, within every imperfection, there's hidden wisdom, if we're willing to embrace it. Think of the last time things didn't go as planned, a project that failed, a relationship that didn't align. How much time did you spend dwelling on what should have been instead of learning from what was? Letting go of perfection makes room for growth. Modern life tells us mistakes equal failure. Zen teaches us the opposite. Cracks are where the light enters. Imagine an artist who treasures flaws in their work, who finds beauty in a crooked line or smudged brushstroke. Life is no different. The imperfect moments? They teach us resilience, creativity, grace. How to embrace imperfection. Shift your perspective. When life doesn't go to plan, pause. Ask, what can I learn from this? Practice self-compassion. Don't punish yourself for your flaws. Treat yourself with the kindness you'd give a friend. Progress is more important than perfection. Find beauty in the broken. Notice the charm in what's chipped, unfinished, or flawed. Let it remind you, this is life, raw and real. Ask yourself, what am I resisting because it's not perfect? When you stop chasing perfection, you set yourself free. Suddenly mistakes become teachers, flaws become art, and life becomes richer. The cracked teacup still holds the tea, and you, with all your imperfections, are still whole, still worthy, still enough. Today, take one small step. Accept life as it is, not as you think it should be. 3. Practice mindfulness. Here's how to shift your perspective. Pause and reflect. When something goes wrong, resist the urge to react. Ask, what might this be teaching me? Find the opportunity. Look beyond the surface. What new possibilities or lessons could this experience offer? Let go of labels. Stop categorizing events as good or bad. Trust that even in adversity, there is growth. Buddhist wisdom reminds us, our judgments create unnecessary suffering. But when you change how you see the world, you change your world. As the Dalai Lama once said, sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. Ask yourself, what challenge in my life can I see differently? When you stop caring about labeling every experience, you create space for transformation. The world becomes less about what happens, and more about how you choose to see it. Today, embrace a challenge as an opportunity, and watch your life shift in ways you never imagined. 5. Accept change as the nature of life. Modern life is full of transitions, moving cities, evolving friendships, growing older. The more we cling to the past or fear the future, the more painful these changes become. But when we embrace impermanence, we begin to see the quiet beauty in endings, and the vast possibility hidden within every beginning. A failed relationship, for instance, may break your heart. But it also clears space for someone more aligned with the person you are becoming. Here's how to embrace change in your life. Acknowledge your resistance. When change arrives, pause. What are you clinging to? What story are you unwilling to let go of? Simply noticing this resistance is the first step toward release. Reframe endings as beginnings. Instead of asking, "What am I losing?" ask, "What new chapter is opening?" Stay present. Change becomes overwhelming when we project too far into the future. Focus on what's here, now, and take just one mindful step forward. Buddhist wisdom teaches change is not the enemy. It is the natural flow of life. When we accept impermanence, we release the burden of trying to control what was never ours to hold. As the Zen saying goes, when you let go, you create space for what's next. Ask yourself, what change am I resisting that could lead to growth? When you stop caring about keeping everything the same, you free yourself to evolve, to expand, to welcome the unknown. Today, trust the flow of life. Let go of what was and open your heart to what's becoming. 6. Cultivate forgiveness. There's a story of two monks walking together. At one point, they came to a river where a woman stood, hesitant, afraid to cross. One monk offered to carry her, even though their vows forbade touching a woman. She accepted, and he carried her across the river. Hours later, as they continued on their journey, the second monk, still upset, finally spoke. "How could you break your vows like that?" The first monk smiled and said, "I set her down hours ago." "Why? Are you still carrying her?" This story reveals a timeless truth. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. When someone wrongs us, it's natural to replay the hurt over and over. But doing so doesn't punish them. It punishes us. Think of a betrayal, a friend who broke your trust, a partner who wasn't faithful. The initial pain is sharp. But what happens when you keep carrying that pain? It bleeds into your life, making it harder to trust, to open your heart, to grow. Forgiveness does not mean excusing what happened. It does not mean inviting the person back into your life. It means releasing the emotional grip that keeps you stuck. Buddhist teachings remind us, forgiveness is not for their benefit, it is for your freedom. Letting go makes space for healing, for transformation, for peace. Here's how to cultivate forgiveness. Acknowledge the hurt. Don't suppress your feelings. Name them. Hold them gently. Let them be seen. Shift your focus. Ask, what did this experience teach me? Use the pain to build empathy, to strengthen boundaries, to deepen your self-respect. Release with compassion. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. Sometimes the most loving act is to let someone go and quietly wish them well from afar. The Buddha said, "Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love." This doesn't mean you must love those who harmed you. It means you stop feeding the anger, so that something gentler can rise in its place. Ask yourself, what grudge am I holding that is weighing me down? When you stop caring about keeping score, you step into a deeper freedom. Today, set down one burden of anger. Forgive, not for them, but for yourself. Peace is waiting on the other side. 7. Silence is golden. There's a Zen proverb, "Speak only if it improves upon the silence." In its simplicity lies profound wisdom. Imagine a still, quiet pond. When undisturbed, it reflects everything: the sky, the trees, the light. But throw a stone into it, and ripples distort the image. Our words are like those stones. When spoken carelessly, they disturb the peace. They create noise, conflict, confusion. Think of the last time you found yourself in a heated argument. Emotions ran high. You may have said things you didn't mean, words that only deepened the divide. In those moments, silence could have been your greatest ally, not as avoidance, but as wisdom. A pause to reflect, a breath to reset. Buddhist philosophy teaches the practice of right speech, to speak truthfully, kindly, and only when necessary. When you follow this, your words become instruments of healing, not weapons of harm. Silence is not weakness, it's restraint. It's choosing to understand before responding. Here's how to practice mindful silence. Pause before you speak. In conflict, breathe. Ask, will my words help or harm? If unsure, let silence hold the space. Listen more than you speak. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's the presence of deep listening. Hear what's not being said. Tune into emotion. Speak with care. When words are needed, let them be gentle, honest, and rooted in love. The Buddha said, "Words have the power to destroy and to heal. When they are both true and kind, they can change the world." This doesn't mean suppress your feelings or avoid hard conversations. It means choose your words with intention, so that they bring clarity, not chaos. Ask yourself, what could silence teach me in moments of tension? When you stop caring about being right or being heard all the time, you discover the quiet power of presence. Today, embrace silence in one difficult moment. Let it guide your response and bring the kind of clarity that words cannot. 8. Love your fate. There is a profound teaching rooted in both Buddhism and Stoicism. Do not wish for life to happen as you desire. Desire it to happen as it does. This is the art of Amor Fati, loving your fate. Imagine standing in the rain. You can curse the clouds, wish for sun, fight the wetness, but the rain will still fall. Or you can open your palms, feel the rhythm of the drops, and dance anyway. The rain doesn't change, but you do. Life throws us into storms we didn't choose. Financial struggles, broken dreams, relationships that don't unfold the way we hoped. And yet, it's our resistance to these moments that creates the deepest suffering. Buddhist wisdom teaches, suffering arises not from events themselves, but from our refusal to accept them. Consider a craftsman who spent months carving a beautiful statue. Just as he finished, an earthquake shattered it. Others wept at the loss. But the craftsman smiled, gathered the pieces, and created a new work of art, a mosaic born from the cracks. This is the essence of loving your fate. When your plans fall apart, you have two choices: resist and dwell in despair, or accept and create something new from the rubble. If money is tight, see it as an invitation to simplify. If love ends, see it as a return to yourself. If a dream dies, trust that space has been made for another to rise. Ask yourself, what part of my life am I resisting that could become my greatest teacher? When you stop caring about having total control, you step into alignment with life's deeper wisdom. Today, don't just accept your fate, love it. Let it shape you. Let it show you who you are becoming. 9. Love your fate. There is a profound teaching in Buddhist philosophy. Do not wish for events to happen as you desire, but desire them to happen as they do. This is the art of Amor Fati, loving your fate. Imagine standing in a heavy rainstorm. You can curse the clouds, wish for the sun, and resist the wetness. Or you can surrender. You can feel the cool drops on your skin and find rhythm in the rain's song. The rain doesn't change, but you do. Life often throws us into storms we didn't ask for. Financial setbacks, failed relationships, career detours. But what if we stopped fighting them? What if we saw them not as punishments, but as invitations to evolve? Buddhism teaches that suffering arises not from events themselves, but from our resistance to them. When we resist reality, we create tension. But when we accept it, even hardship becomes a path to inner peace. There's a story of a master craftsman. After months of carving a statue, an earthquake shattered it. Others mourned the loss. But the craftsman simply gathered the broken pieces and built something even more beautiful, a mosaic of resilience. That is Amor Fati. When life breaks your plans, build something new with the pieces. Practice it daily. Shift your perspective. Ask, what is this teaching me? Reframe obstacles. See them as tools to strengthen patience, creativity, and adaptability. Embrace impermanence. Storms pass. So do challenges. Simplify your desires. Let go of how life should be. Live in the moment instead. The Buddha said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." Loving your fate doesn't mean giving in to despair. It means finding beauty in what is, even when it's not what you planned. Ask yourself, what challenge in my life can I embrace instead of resist? When you stop caring about controlling every detail, you make space for growth, for gratitude, and for unexpected joy. 10. Remember, you will die. In Buddhist teachings, one of the most powerful reminders is this: let us postpone nothing, for tomorrow is not promised. It might sound stark, even unsettling, but it holds a truth that can transform how we live. We often act as if time is infinite, putting off our dreams, avoiding hard conversations, delaying forgiveness. But none of us know how many tomorrows we have. Imagine waking up and knowing today is your last. What would you do differently? Who would you call? What would you say? What would you finally stop caring about? When we remember that life is fleeting, our priorities come into sharp focus. The small anxieties, the petty arguments, the need to always be right, they fade. And what remains is love, presence, gratitude. This principle, Memento Mori, isn't about fear, it's about clarity. The Buddha taught us to contemplate death, not to grieve it, but to wake up to life, right here, right now. Consider the story of a man who spent his life chasing titles, wealth, success. But near the end, he realized he had missed the people who mattered. He had lived for someday, and someday never came. Don't wait to live fully. Practice mortality awareness in your daily life. Live with urgency. If something matters, don't wait. Begin now. Prioritize connection. Express love. Make time. Be present. Let go of the trivial. Release what doesn't serve your peace. Express gratitude. Every moment, every breath is a gift. The Buddha said, "The trouble is you think you have time, but time is borrowed, and its beauty lies in its impermanence." Ask yourself, what am I postponing that my soul is asking me to do today? When you stop clinging to perfection, when you release the illusion of endless tomorrows, you begin to truly live. Closing reflection. Let go or be dragged. In the stillness of the present moment, a truth emerges. What we cling to becomes our suffering. What we release becomes our peace. Non-attachment, mindfulness, acceptance. These aren't just philosophies, they are pathways to liberation. A river doesn't fight the rocks in its path. It finds its way around them with grace. So, too, can we. Release the need for control. Accept that everything is impermanent. Let go of perfection. You may find that peace was never missing. It was simply waiting beneath the noise. Strength is not in resistance, but in harmony with the rhythm of life. So today, forgive someone. Embrace change. Cherish a fleeting moment. Let go of a small burden. And trust the unfolding. As Epictetus beautifully reminds us, do not seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish for events to happen as they do, and your life will be serene. If this message resonates with you, like and share this video. Let us walk the path of Buddha's wisdom together, with presence, with peace, with love.